Alright, hello. Back from vacation, ready for some build roast today, where the stream should be up right after this video is posted, and you should be able to just straight up watch it, and I'll leave the link in the description so you can come say hi after you're done watching this video, in case you want to. So, today we're taking a look at another viewer-suggested build, or not viewer-suggested build, viewer-suggested weapon. And the weapon itself is a weapon that has had its era of meta. It has had its era of being incredibly used and one of the most beloved weapons in the game. And DE tried to bring it back, but it didn't hit the mark, and now it's left in this weird state where some people think it's good and some people think it's horrible. So let's debunk it and see if it's actually worth using or not. So, right here, I will immediately, and I mean it, immediately say what is wrong with this Incarnon. Okay? So you see these stats and you may be like, that is kind of crazy crit damage, and I will agree with you. However, we have Fatal Affliction, which we have 10% status chance, so it's kind of useless. And we have Fresh Havoc, which is absolutely horrible. This is like, I have no idea why this even exists when there is an Incarnon on the weapon. Like, why? And I mean, you just, this right here, if this was status chance or this was status chance, this weapon would be absolutely goated. Because the only thing you're missing in this weapon realistically is status chance. Not more crit damage. 3x crit damage and 3.4x crit damage respectively are really, really good. But 3% status chance and 10% status chance are not. So, this thing has 8 multi-shot on the Incarnon form, like, add the status chance here, and whatever that number is, just subtract it by 8. Or, not subtract, whatever. You do the math, and you get the actual results. Okay? Divide by 8. So if you divide by 8, let's say this gives us a 20% status chance buff, so we get 30 and 30 here. That would be pretty good, right? Because it's a fully auto weapon, you don't need more than 30% status chance to make this absolutely goated as a fully auto primary weapon. And then this 30% status chance right here on the status per projectile, it would become 30 divided by 8, so that's around 3% more status chance, so 6% instead of 3% status per projectile. You may say that's still pretty horrible, but knowing how much the Telos Bolter adds status on this with 55% per projectile on 5 multi-shots, not 8 or whatever we have on that. We have like, what, 30 multi-shot on the Soma Prime? We can range around that much because 8 is base and then it scales with multi-shot mods. So it's like, even if you have 6% status on 30 bullets, like, that shit is gonna hit every single bullet. Every single bullet is gonna have a status perk. And you see, this is why this is my upgrade here. And the funny thing is that without the upgrade, it works the same way. Obviously, the upgrade is 20% increase. However, the secondary fire is 17.3% status per projectile. So if the Telos Bolter can do this, why can't the Soma Prime do this? Why can't we have status per projectile or status chance on this upgrade on the Soma Prime? It would make this weapon so much better. And it really is. It's just, I don't know. This could have easily saved the weapon, could have made it amazing. Right now, it's left in a state that it's kind of mediocre, but it's still very much usable. Just like pretty much every weapon in this game. I mean, I don't even know if you guys watched it. I'm a big Dystopia fan, and I'm pretty sure most people saw that before the patch was released, Dystopia was able to level cap on a duo squad using a fishing spear and an Otyucore. The Otyucore for killing mobs and the fishing spear for the actual demos. So you can make anything work. You can actually just make anything work in this game. And with that being said, the Soma is still an Incarnon weapon. Incarnon weapons are generally made to be stronger without much investment. And this makes it still an amazing weapon. Also, I'm glad they added this back, because, I was tired of hovering the magazine to see what the hell was happening in here. So I'm glad this is back. But, you know, 16.3 critical multiplier is kind of nuts. And here is what we're going to use. So basically, Arcane Avenger and Ardaza Kavats give us 105 additive critical chance. So this will have 135% critical chance per projectile. So yeah, this gets to an insane number. Now, I would love to have a better roll. This is like adding a better hammer shot with a bit of multi-shot too, which is still fine, don't get me wrong, but I just wish I had something better than this. So, taking my compressor, even though I will not use it, and this because it's still my beloved weapon, even though it's nerfed to shit. And let's show what the Soma can do. So, the classic Olympus mission. Now, Viral got nerfed, you will see pretty much decent damage still onto the enemies, even though Viral doesn't deal as much. But just know that, you know, if I want Corrosive instead of Viral, I would probably deal more, but I like having Viral on this gun because even without Hunter munitions, you can still proc slash pretty heavily. So, this is basically a pure damage build. You can alter this build however you like. In theory, the best case scenario would be to go Corrosive Cold at this point, or Corrosive Blast even, or Straight Up Blast. Straight Up Blast could also be good. We'll try that after, because I'm curious to see if it's actually going to be better than going Viral. Now, you see, with Arcane Avenger and the Kavat buff, we are getting orange crits permanently on this. And even if we go like this, then, you know. And you see damage is really okay. It's just, you don't see very big numbers, but the damage is there, for sure. Like, one taps, all over the place. It's still really good damage, it's just, you don't notice it in terms of damage numbers. Because this is a weapon that has crazy amounts of multi-shot. And that can make it a bit misleading on how much damage you think this weapon deals and how much it actually deals. Like, you see that? It deals a lot. So let's go to the demo list. We're just gonna stun him and then we're gonna headshot him. Yeah, I've dropped some of my bullets, but you see the damage is half decent, not the greatest. This guy is way more squishy, so... you know. It's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. Some people think the primary version is way better, and that is also pretty wrong. We're gonna showcase the primary version of the weapon now on these next two demos, so you can see that as well. But, you know, in general, it is not a bad Incarnon. It's not bad in terms of stats or anything, because it has very high multi-shot, and those low stats can be boosted to an incredible amount. And that can be misleading to some. But I think it could still use a different kind of, you know, upgrade. Instead of what it has. That is what's gating this weapon. See, now if the upgrade is status chance, this will be so much better. If the upgrade of the last Incarnon thing is status chance, it's so much better. And as you can see, no, the non-Incarnon form is in fact not better. It's sort of on par, at least. They both have their place and their playstyle, but none of them is better than the other. I'm also gonna show a demo list with the Eclipse buff, just in case you want to see that, before we move on. And then we're gonna be done with it and try just using Blast instead. So, you know, it's just sad because you have other weapons that have these type of stats, like Soma Prime, right? This weapon, if you check the status chance, it's 14%. Just because of that 4% difference, This is a weapon that is viral, corrosive, or not viral, corrosive, viral and viral slash viable. Not just viable. You can easily level cap with viral slash on that weapon because the damage it deals from that bleed proc and the status chance is just absolutely bonkers. So it's sad to see that a weapon can simply be fucked from just one stat when it should be. 30% on this secondary fire may sound too low, and that is because it sort of is, but the multi-shot help people up. So, I have the thing. And that is what it does, so... You know, it's pretty good. It also kills acolytes very fast if you get one. At the original build that I had without a Riven, because I did buy a Riven for this, I wanted to try and get it to the maximum that I could, because I know people love this weapon and wanted to see it shine. And, you know, it's good. It's not bad. But it feels like it's gated from just that what we have been talking about. So, extraction, here we go. We'll try out the viral, or not the viral, the blast build. Because blast got buffed, and on primary weapons, blast is actually really, really strong now. Which is actually quite surprising. If you use corrosive blast on a primary weapon in the current meta, and your primary weapon is like fully auto, high status chance type of deal, that weapon is automatically busted. Weapons that have innate magnetic as well are outright busted. And weapons that have innate viral are obviously outright busted because you can have corrosive, viral, and blast. Now, you know, we may say that blast is better now than what it used to be. But judging by my status chance being only 40%, even if I do bring blast in the table, I don't think it will make that big of a difference, simply because, you know, there is not enough status chance to proc 10 blast procs so quickly to get the value of. But we'll see. Maybe the Soma surprises us. Let's hope it does, because I'm honestly, like, I honestly wanted this to work. I wasted almost 100k. No, I did waste 100k. I wasted 100,000 Kuva, 140 plat, and I really wanted to make it like decent. The only reason I was delaying this video wasn't because I was trying to find the build, it was because I wanted the Incarnon adapter. I didn't have it, so I need to go wait for the rotation to get it, and when I got it, I immediately started working on the build. And I stayed up. Today is like Monday at what, 4 a.m, 4:49 a.m, almost 5, and like it's just absolutely insane that, you know, even after this much investment, it feels underwhelming because of this one change. Now, blast does deal a significant amount of damage from the armor changes. Armor not affecting Veneer as much means that we still kill with blast instead of viral or anything. Matter of fact, we're pretty much doing the same damage because viral doesn't have a benefit towards Veneer anymore at all. So, this is pretty decent results. Now with corrosive, this would obviously make it better, but obviously you can do it. So, let's try the primary version first, because this has 40% status chance. Not quite. Not quite. I'll try the Incarnon too, but this is not looking great. regardless, it's just the way that Blast works. Blast now benefits from high fire rate, high fire rate weapons with a lot of status chance. This is a high fire rate weapon, but unfortunately the status chance is very low. Not quite what you want it to be. So let's try on this guy. We see some of the ticks that we get from the blast and all that. But we're in fact not blasting. We are not blasting, sir. As a fact of having the blast for AoE purposes, that is a pretty decent result. But as a fact of using the blast for trying to do damage in general, it's not looking too great. But AoE wise, this is nice. It is pretty nice, pretty sex, I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't go for it though. Viral is just better. Corrosive Cold would be even better, but I can't fit it in. I really want Hammer Shot for the extra status chance in there. Not even the crit damage. The crit damage is just a really nice benefit from that mod, but it's the actual status chance that I'm looking for, and I don't have enough. Can you imagine this had like what 90% status chance, 90% crit chance, or even more? With the build that I have, and if we had like a status chance upgrade on the Incarnon, this could easily get around 130% status chance. These stats would go nuts on this weapon. Unfortunately, they didn't understand what we needed to go for here. And they do it quite often. Not gonna lie. Like, where's the Furious? The last upgrade on the Furious Incarnon is like crazy. But then again, you have this. Who would unironically use this? Like, what? What does this do? Legit, what does that do? Some encounters just don't make it. And then you have Vasto Incarnon, which is like death trap trigger, weapon recall, and critical chance base increase. Like you have a fucking base critical chance of 78% that increases to whatever the fuck with death trap trigger. What is this? Like what? Oh no, it is with death trap trigger actually. This is base is 20, so this is 78 with those two. Regardless, 78% based critical chance is fucking nuts. And then you have increased base critical damage by 0.6. This if at some point D decides to make a not primer, a stat stick for primary weapons, like a Warframe ability that scales with primary weapons modes and effects, then the Soma Prime would be goated. But as it is right now, this is not it, Chief. This is unfortunately outdamaged by both the Bolter, the Burston, and pretty much every meta automatic weapon that I can think of. If I think of, even a Kuva Hind, something like Kuva the Hind outdamages it, something like Fenmore outdamages it. The Tetra, I don't even want to talk about the Tetra, it's just crazy difference. This outdamages it, this outdamages it, Drum outdamages it, Stalta, funny. Barakor, just, it still feels nice to use. I just hate that we are missing the potential that this can get for seemingly no reason whatsoever. And before you tell me, Hata Satya, yeah, but what is like Hata Satya can reach 350% critical chance bonus. You reach red crits on the primary fire. What do you do here? On the Incarnon, the thing that is actually like strong and shit. You don't get anything. It's a big issue, it's not great to have this. And you can tell me, oh, you can go like a full damage build with Serration here and Hunter Munitions, and then you're chilling. Not exactly anymore, because Hunter Munitions viral got nerfed by a lot, but you also wouldn't want to use Serration instead of this. or you wouldn't want a completely different type of build because Rifle Elementalist exists now. So you would need viral from some kind of ability instead. I don't know. It's all just so weird. It's just so weird. Also, these modes are very interesting. I'm so glad we have something like this in the game finally. Because that is just such an interesting prospectus. On the Excalibur video that I made, you could like go on the ceramic dagger, right? You take this, you remove Spoil Strike because it's useless. You slap in melee elementalists. You go melee influence with only like electricity, and then you spread electricity and slash to everybody around the room. That is fucking cracked. That is absolutely crazy. I might do it, but I don't have investment yet. I will get some adapters, do some stuff, and then add it to the mix. But as it is right now, you saw it's still quite good. It's just that kind of setup could absolutely break it. It could easily break it. But that is a talk for another time. Anyways, you know, Discord, Twitch links in the description. I have some videos planned for the foreseeable future. One of them is the Garuda video, which will probably come a bit later, maybe this week, but I can't promise anything. It needs a lot of work, script writing. There is a lot of stuff going on in that video, and yeah, the other video is a bit more in theme with the update, and it will show basically what weapons are really strong right now in general, like all the type of weapons that I can think of that make things strong, and warframes with weapons that are strong, generally setups that are absolutely bonkers right now. That's about it. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.